Hello, friends. I had the pleasure and the privilege to be able to playtest Stadium. I am extremely excited for this game mode to be released. I really like this type of gameplay, as I really don't like having to switch or counter. I like being able to do that with abilities and powers rather than switching characters. I have played a lot of Moira and Mercy specifically. I try to steer away from anyone who's a little more aim intensive just at this particular moment, as the playtest is a limited amount of players and players of all skill levels. But I tend to get pretty overwhelmed pretty quickly playing heroes like Juno, Kiriko, or Ana in this game mode. Even on Moira, I kind of struggled. But I'm hoping that when the actual game mode does release, that matchmaking will be a little easier. Though I would say matchmaking in general has just felt off recently, and I'm not really sure what that's about, but I still love the game. I still want to play it, and I can't wait for the new season. I don't know how I feel about third person when it comes to aiming. I noticed it in Marvel Rivals 2, where I just seem to not be able to figure out where I should be looking. I seem to get distracted by everything other than what I should be shooting at. I don't know if it's because I'm like, oh wow, my skin is so cute. Though in the playtest I can't choose my skin, because if they did have the hero gallery, I'm sure there'd be things that you aren't supposed to see. So this was a skin that I had equipped at one point. I don't actually really like the skin, to be honest. It's grown on me, but it is definitely not my favorite. I will say that it's easier to die in this game mode. Buying survival items will be your best friend, depending, well, especially if you are squishy, but it really helps. I got armor because they have an Ashe and a Genji, but if Genji was building a dash build, I probably wouldn't really want armor for that. I definitely like a lot of the powers for Mercy. I think they make Mercy feel a lot more useful, especially if they have people that are diving. You can build against that. And I really appreciate that. I will say that if you do not like long game modes, this might not be the mode for you. I think that Junkenstein's Lab, was kind of like a preview to this, because when you look at the UI and stuff, it looked really clean and stuff. But this game mode has been in development for a long time. I can't remember the exact amount of time, but it's been in the works for a while. I'm really excited to play it with other people. I'm also excited because you can get comp points in this mode. The ranking works a lot like Apex or Marvel or Dead by Daylight. So you don't have placements, you just keep playing and you'll rank up. But I definitely am going to play this a lot to get my comp points because I really, really want galactic weapons, even for heroes that I do not play. But I do play mystery heroes, so for me that's worth it. I do wish that I could use my legacy points on them. I mean, I could in a year's time, but that's a very long time away.
3, 2, 1.
I think I usually get the power that makes it so it automatically applies the Valkyrie beams, the healing and the damage. That way you don't necessarily have to kind of pay attention to it, but also because I want a pistol. Am I hitting anything? Usually not, but I like to think that I am. I think the announcer is also pretty fun. How it shouts out like plays and stuff. And as I'm recording this, the trailer for the new season has come out and the skins have been shown in full, and I'm really excited for it. I think the Juno skin looks really good. I'm glad that I don't know what was going on with the skin that just made it not look like Juno, but I feel like it's definitely fixed. Because it definitely wasn't a bad skin at all. It just, something looked really off. And I also can't wait for the Mercy one either. I think some of the Battle Pass skins as well look pretty nice. The Ash one in particular is one that I think about a lot. As if I've seen it for a long time. I only saw it today. But it looks really cool. I love her hair. I also do like the Life Weaver one, but I am not a wife leaver. I call him that sometimes. I don't play him a whole lot. I love his skin, I love his character design. Do not like the gameplay whatsoever. I don't mind having a Life Weaver on my team, but I don't particularly like playing him. I also want to practice actually doing super jump reses and stuff like that. I gave up on that a really long time ago when they added super jump to the base kit, because I could kind of do the bug back in Overwatch 1. I couldn't always do it consistently though. I was trying to do Mercy Res parkour the other day, and my goodness, I don't know how some of y'all do it, I'll be real. Some of them are super hard, especially because you have to like press certain buttons at the same time, and my brain doesn't work as is. So trying to time those things is really tough for me.
2-0.
And
Competition this round.
another thing that I will also mention is that there is always a way to come back in this game mode if you can build accordingly. I don't necessarily try to counter, it's more a fact of, I think trying to stay alive is really important. Though, if you do stay alive for a long time and then you die, you give the enemy team a bounty, which can help them get ahead. And another thing is, you can buy and sell items whenever you want. Or not whenever you want, but like in the armory phase. And there's no... what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. There's no penalty for selling items. Like, if you've ever played League and you buy an item and say you're late game and you don't want to have your boots anymore, you want to buy an item, or maybe you bought the wrong item. If you sell it, it sells for a lot less than what you paid for it. But in this mode, you don't have to worry about that, which I think is really cool. However, you do have to pick your powers a little more carefully because you cannot change those once you pick them. I wasn't paying attention to what I picked, but I try to get the res with overhealth. I really can't remember if that's what I got in this one. I'd have to look again. And you can see that me, Moira, and May both have bounties. I did spend a lot of time healing in this game. I feel pretty bad about... oh yeah, I did buy the res one. I feel bad about damage boosting sometimes in this round because people can do so much damage. Especially Cassidy. I don't know what people build, but it's a lot. I do eventually want to try tank, but I was way too afraid to play tank by myself. I'm the only person that I know that got into the playtest, and I'm not super good at making new friends or putting myself out there, so I did not find any people to queue with. Or, I honestly didn't really try because I was too scared. But I lost my train of thought. But the over health on res can help you get away with a risky res if you do, like, get it off with a small amount of health. But risky reses are still risky. I also love the rolling May. That is so funny to me. If you've ever played Heroes of the Storm, it's kind of similar to how May is in that mode, except it's her ultimate and she doesn't turn into a snowball, she snowballs the enemy. Actually, I'm not sure if she can do it to herself. I haven't played in a long time. I also never really played May. I just know that she was really annoying to play against when I did play. But when I do play Heroes of the Storm, I usually just play bots. Because I usually just kind of want to chill. And honestly, the bots are kind of hard. also like how they have the MVP cards. It's kind of reminiscent of the old end cards back in Overwatch 1.
Here's our score. 2-1. You can really tell who the playmakers are. Up next, get ready.
I'm sure that taking the damage boost one would probably be really helpful, but I seem to not usually get it. I feel like if I was playing with other people, especially like a DPS, that I would be more likely to do that, but I didn't really feel like I was damage boosting a whole lot. Though my stats seemed pretty 50-50 in that last round, but
Another round down, and it's safe to say the teams are in the zone.
and I do try to spend all my money every round because it does not hurt.
The teams have 20 seconds left to prepare for the round.
Another thing is if you are getting rolled and it's a pretty big roll, the game will end after 3 rounds. That is if you're, or the enemy, whoever's rolling has 15k more currency than the losing team, then the game will be mercy ruled and the game will end. But other than that, it will end after 4 rounds if you don't win one of them. I do eventually want to try Lucio as well, but Lucio is not a hero I am good at at all. Another thing that I noticed is if someone has a streamer mode name on, it will change every round. That's not important whatsoever, but it's just something that I noticed. And I think there is also going to be specific stadium rewards at the start where you can get an epic loot box, a legendary loot box, and a soldier skin. But soldier skin is just a base skin recolor. And I am a little sad that a lot of the Doki Watch, or actually all of the Doki Watch skins, aren't going to be in the Battle Pass, which is honestly smart because a lot of people are going to want to buy them. And if you want to make money, that's a good way to make money. But I am crossing my fingers that next season I can pull them in a loot box. That is my hope. I hope that I get lucky. I actually got 3 legendaries in my last 10 loot boxes. Let's see if I can remember which ones they were. I didn't hate them, but do you think I can remember? I think I got Cardboard Reaper, Oh, and I got the Mercy winter skin. It's like the reindeer one, but like the Christmas colored version. It's red and green, and she has brown hair instead of blonde hair. And oh, there was something else, but I can't remember. It keeps giving me like my least favorite Genji skins, like the recolors, or like Torb skins. But I have gotten a lot of good skins. I also got Cardboard, Brigitte. I got another Brigitte skin as well. Not a huge fan of it. It was the Azure Dragon, which I think was a skin that was designed at the same time as that Hazard skin. I don't know what it's called, but he has a tail, and he's blue and scaly. And I did get Formal Wear Mercy in a box, and I got an Ana skin. It was Sanguine Curse. I probably said that wrong, but I actually don't mind it. I think it looks pretty nice. I do wish that the random from favorites thing worked a little differently, because I feel like it's almost like it's purely random to the fact that it makes it unrandom, if that makes sense. I've talked about it before. I'm very much a broken record a lot of the time, so I apologize for that. I can't really remember like who I say things to or where I say things, and so I end up repeating myself a lot. I'm not sure who I'd be most excited for to come into Stadium next. They plan to try to release every hero eventually, and also update it every season, so I think that's cool. Also with the perks too. Seeing someone say that Paladins had to die for Overwatch to survive, which isn't actually the case, but it's still kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. I actually didn't mind Paladins, but it definitely doesn't give me the feeling that Overwatch gives me. It feels really goofy, silly a lot of the time, especially since every hero is kind of OP. And you could have the same character on either team, but depending on how that person built them would determine how they played and what they could get away with and stuff like that. And I meant to mention this earlier, but I am adding random keyboard noises onto this because I forgot to separate my audio tracks before I recorded this. So it's all in one audio track, and because Overwatch is so loud, even if I did turn down Overwatch, you likely won't hear the keyboard sounds that I recorded anyways.
Coming up, get ready for chaos in Clash.
But as you can see, that it is always winnable. Though I would argue that every game is always winnable, it's just whether you're willing to make changes and adjustments. I know I'm pretty, I don't want to say bad, but there's times where I don't like mirror matching in like comp games or going a direct counter because I don't know, I feel like it feels a little bad for me and for the enemy. 'Cause I still want to have fun and stuff. Plus, I don't know, I think I play too much mind games with myself where it's like, if they have a Ramatra, I can't go Ramatra because they already went Ramatra, and it's just this whole thing that really doesn't need to be a thing, but it is. And at this point, I felt a little bad damage boosting Cassidy because he already was doing a lot of damage on his own. And I don't like one-shots, or I don't like playing against one-shots. So I was kind of just flying around. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that others are just as excited for Stadium as I am. And I really can't wait for the new season, and I can't wait to play and grind the new mode and get my Juno Mythic and my Mercy Mythic and my Galactic skins. There's so many things. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe.